Tom Bernard here. Thanks for listening to our KQ Morning Show podcast, brought to you exclusively by my guys at Walzer Automotive Group. Walzer is proud to be the Twin Cities' one low-price dealer group. That means upfront, no-haggle pricing on every single new and used vehicle they sell, with 24 dealerships over 2 states and a love-it-or-leave-it return policy you can buy with confidence. I encourage you to experience the Walzer way to buy your next vehicle. See Walzer.com for details. Thanks for listening, and enjoy our show.
The KQ Morning Show is back.
Let's go!
92 KQRS.
We are back. 7:57 now, 3 minutes till 8 o'clock at KQRS News and Information. These cities are about to become more enticing for a very specific subset of people, but doesn't it really come down to how cool your neighbors are? Someone ranked America's 100 biggest cities according to which ones are best for naked gardening. Okay. Pretty sure there's going to be nothing on there from Minnesota, because naked gardening in Minnesota, good luck to you. You can do what, June, July, and August? That's about it. That's about how long you can go. Your top 10 naked gardening cities are Santa Ana, California, makes sense, Irvine, California, Riverside, California, Orlando, Florida, Anaheim, California, Portland, Oregon, Atlanta, Georgia, Seattle, Washington, Austin, Texas, and Miami, Florida. Other than, I would guess, Miami, Florida, those are very, very liberal states, apparently. We do or liberal cities, I should say, where you can do your naked gardening. Miami tends to be conservative because a lot of Cubans are conservative. So, a lot of places about 5 places in California. You got your Seattle and your Portland, like you knew. I'm kind of surprised that you can't naked garden in Minneapolis for those 90 days, 120 days. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, well,
right?
Maybe you can. I don't know.
What do you think?
Why not? It's your yard.
Well, if, like, the neighborhood kids can see you with your ass hanging out, is that a problem?
Yeah, maybe they shouldn't be looking.
Oh, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I
Some
understand.
manners.
By the way, of the 100 cities they looked at, Lincoln, Nebraska is the worst for naked gardening. No, it's all right. It's all you need to know. The worst for gardening is Lincoln, Nebraska. Like I said, my friend Roger Agnew, family owned a radio station in Lincoln, Nebraska. They wanted to sell the city slogan, but the city wouldn't do it. Lincoln, Nebraska, where the West Peters out. I love that slogan. That would have been a great slogan. Yeah. Everybody know where Lincoln is now, right?
Heartbreak, Nebraska. I drove to Las Vegas one time, young man, and drove through Heartbreak, Nebraska.
Oh,
would you stay in a town you felt you had to name Heartbreak?
Probably not. Probably wouldn't. That's true. Where is Heartbreak, Nebraska? Is it like in the western part of Nebraska?
I kind of just remember the Panhandle, they call it, right? Which is everything that isn't along the river bluff, so
wow,
everything in west of the river. There in Nebraska, but out in the middle somewhere. I don't recall exactly. It was before the days of GPS, just out there trekking across Nebraska. And we stopped to get some gas. That was about all that was there. Gas, a cafe, a little locker. That's what they used to call grocery stores in those small towns, the lockers.
Sure.
And that was about it. Post office.
One of my favorite things of all time, of course, is first time I ever went to Lincoln, Nebraska to visit Roger. Roger and I hung out when we were both at Brown Institute. That's how I met Roger. But I remember the first time drove past the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, Nebraska. I don't know why, but there were like 55 Pontiac Trans Ams parked right up against the stadium. Yeah, I wonder what that was all about, do you think? Great looking car, though, man.
Maybe that's what the boosters were buying the ball players back then.
You think? Maybe that was it?
The guy with the local Trans Am Pontiac dealership, it was a big booster.
Yeah, apparently. Jesus. I feel like these folks wanted to prove they didn't belong locked up in an assisted living home, and after this, it's pretty hard to argue with them. Back in March, an elderly married couple broke out of their assisted living home in Lebanon, Tennessee. They both have dementia and Alzheimer's, so they were locked in a locked wing. But it turns out the husband used to be in the military, and he was trained in Morse code. They trained him to memorize patterns, so he'd listen to the staff punch in the key code for the door. He eventually cracked it so he could get out. Are we sure this guy has dementia and Alzheimer's? Because I have not. I have neither. I'm not sure I could do that. Yeah, well, we're not trained. I suppose not. Listening to the beeping. The couple was found about 30 minutes after they escaped. Escaped. I don't know if they escaped.
They're on the lam. On
the lam, baby. They were walking down a road a few blocks from the home. The home was fined $2,000 by the state for allowing the couple to... Well, what are they supposed to... They didn't know the guy knew Morse code.
Hard to see that one coming, but...
Yeah. What do you fine them $2,000? How the hell were they supposed to know? They're both alive. What the hell more do you need?
Yeah.
Right? This is not Gus and Grace as in the movie Where's Papa? That's all I know. Remember that? Paul Castellano? Or not Paul Castellano, but Paul Sorvino. Starred as the guy running the old folks' home, Gus and Grace's retirement home. They get there and they go, well, where's Gus? Where's Grace? There ain't no goddamn Gus and there ain't no goddamn Grace. I wish there were. They could help me out. The best. I love Sorvino. What a great actor. If you're going to stab someone for a beer, Candace, at least get a good microbrew. Do not stab a guy for this. Okay, are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On Friday night, 53-year-old Raul Rivero Riaz of, what was it, Tice, Florida? I never heard of Tice, Florida. Was standing outside a convenience store drinking a 16-ounce can of Natty Ice beer. That's one of America's cheapest beers, so natural ice is called Natty Ice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 50-year-old Juan Ariano walked up to him and asked for the Natty Ice. Raul said no. When Juan got angry and insisted, Raul said no again. So Juan just stabbed Raul in the abdomen, grabbed the can of natural ice, and ran off. The cops caught up with him and arrested him for aggravated battery. Raul was treated for his stab wound, so that's good. Yeah, let's see. Where have I heard that name before? Ariano. God, oh, that's right. My sister-in-law's last name is Ariano. Okay. Okay, Shay. Well, way to go, Shay, you criminal. The hoodlum. Shay's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. A week ago in Lincoln, Nebraska, a 21-year-old college senior at the University of Nebraska named Jessica Robertson was drinking some Pabst Blue Ribbon on a patio with some friends. 35-year-old Nehemiah Winters walked up to her and asked for one of her cans of beer, her PBR. She said no. He lifted up his shirt and showed what looked like the handle of a knife sticking out of his pants, so she gave him a can and he took off. Well, Jessica called the cops, who caught up with Nehemiah and arrested him. He still had the can. He'd only drunk about half when the cops got there, and they found he didn't have a knife. He actually had a fork. Okay. Looked like a knife, but it was the handle of a fork. Anyway, the police report made the local NBC station's website, and the higher-ups at Pabst saw it. So earlier this week, a PBR distributor named Rick Birdsell hand-delivered 3 12-packs of replacement PBR to Jessica on the house. So you couldn't just go with the 4 12-packs for the 2 cases. Right. What the hell is that?
Yeah, he drank one on the way.
Yeah, probably. He had 4 of them, but he drank one of them on the way over. Riding in the back of the car, I'm sure, or back of a limo where you can drink. I'm sure that's it. He even drank one with Jessica and her friend, so that's good. But, I mean, 3 12, wouldn't you go with the 4 12-packs? You get the 2 cases of beer.
Yeah.
That'd be good. I'd like to tell you how many PBRs I'd had in my life, but there is no way I could count that high.
Then they made them taller.
They did. Boy, I did like drinking beer back in the day, man. I was a beer drinker, became a wine drinker, never a hard liquor drinker, which was good for the whole planet, believe me. Believe me when I tell you. A stock market trading company decided to have a little fun by creating theoretical stock prices for musicians based on how much they think their brand would be worth on the market. To come up with each price, they created an algorithm that included the musicians' streaming data, how many awards they won. Isn't that amazing that the streaming data is the most important thing now?
Yeah.
That's terrifying to me. They have way too much power. They really do. Way too much. Don't you think we're going to have to do something about that? That we're going to have to force them to tell the truth? You think?
Well, I mean, technically they're not the ones. I mean, they're censoring.
Yeah.
That you can go after, but technically they're not the ones lying. The person posting the content would be the person lying, and if you make them culpable for people telling lies, well, then you just as well shut them down.
Well, I just mean take down the stuff that they take the stuff down they don't agree with. That is a form of lying.
Yeah, it's tough because I hate, over-regulation. No one wants to see something over-regulated, a private business over-regulated, but the censoring, that didn't bother me till the censoring thing. I don't mind the hate speech on there. Because you take it or leave it. You can even learn from it if you're enlightened enough, if you're open-minded enough. But plus, I always thought they expose themselves. Now we know who the hate groups are. Now we know who our neighbor who's the white supremacist is because, he's posting all that crap on social media. But then you start censoring that kind of stuff, and then you're overstepping your boundaries. I just don't ever believe censoring is ever, under any circumstance, a good thing.
I couldn't agree more, because the only thing they censor is stuff they don't agree with politically, which is way out of line. I mean, seriously. I don't go on social media, so I don't even know what the hell they do anymore. I haven't gone on, coming up on 9 years now, I think it is. I have no use for it. I know it would be good for my career, and I could promote the show and the podcast. I could do all that. It's just not worth it to me, because I just don't trust those scumbags. I just, ugh. So here's the deal. To come up with each price, they created an algorithm that included musician streaming data, how many awards they won, their Billboard Hot 100 entries, existing sponsorship deals, and social media following. And here's how they ranked. Top 10. Post Malone's worth 93. So these are by the millions, aren't, or just these dollars?
No.
So these are dollars. Yeah. Right?
The stock price for each stock, yes.
For each stock. Yeah. There you go. Post Malone's at $93.69. The Weeknd's $111.52. Kanye West. See, I said it right that time, Candace. Kanye.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Conway Jest or something. Whatever the hell his name is. $113.03. Ed Sheeran's at $118.65. Beyonce, $131.51. Eminem, $145.49. Ariana Grande's $154.82. Justin Bieber at $169.01. Taylor Swift, $170.59. Nobody's even close to Drake, though. Drake's at $226.62. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what that all means, but apparently you can, if they were a trading company, you could buy them, or some damn thing. I don't know what the hell it is. But a woman has been found guilty in a revenge porn case after she shared nude photographs of her fiance's mistress. Is that really revenge porn? If your pictures, nude pictures, are out there, how is that revenge porn?
Well, I didn't get to the bottom of this story, but revenge porn, that's something that started hitting the books, maybe as far back as 10 years ago, because what douchebag guys were doing is the picture your girlfriend sends you, those fun little pictures she lets you take when you're in that honeymoon phase, then they'd break up and they'd start posting them online. So they weren't online already. They were posted online, and it was called revenge porn, and it got really big. And then a lot of states stepped in and started making laws against it.
Don't you think it'd be that was very wise of my wife that never even came up? Because, yeah, Tom, no problem. Why don't you take nude pictures of me and then no. There'll be none of you want to see the goods, then see the goods. There'll be no pictures.
Right.
So that's cool. Well, it works for me. And if you do take pictures, good for you, but keep yourself. You don't use them against people. What the hell's wrong with you? You had some good fun, didn't you? I mean, I look back at every woman that I've ever dated my entire life and went, yeah, that was fun. It didn't work out in the end, but I'm not pissed off at them.
Yeah, you learned something. You had some fun. Take the positive, move along.
Exactly.
The right one. But guys, I guess women get that way too, but guys are dangerous when they do it.
Yeah.
I think. Women can be, but more often it's the guys I worry about when they lose their minds over a breakup.
Yeah, they do. They do sometimes. They shared an Apple iCloud account, meaning that texts and messages addressed to, what would this be? Reichlich?
Yeah.
Reichlich? Something.
Either.
I'm going to go with Reichlich, I think. Would also pop up on Austin's iPad and devices owned by her children. Normally, Austin would ignore the messages, she said. However, when she saw alerts on her iPad that showed another woman was sending explicit messages and semi-naked photos to her fiancé, she saw red and broke off the relationship, I would imagine. I was doing my quizzes for school on the iPad and pictures started popping up, Austin said, adding that her children could also have seen them. After the breakup, Reichlich told the mutual friends that she was crazy, and Austin, 43, decided to share the images and messages to prove that she had a good reason for ending the relationship. I decided to tell people the truth. Oh, are you telling people the truth now, are you? Okay.
Right.
But by doing so, she was violating Illinois state law against so-called revenge porn. Reichlich was sent to Austin, had compiled and filed a report with the Crystal Lake Police Department. At a county court hearing, the case had been thrown out on free speech grounds, but the decision was made to retry the case in the Illinois Supreme Court. At the trial in McHenry County on Monday, April 26th, Austin's attorney Wayne Giampietro, I guess is how you would say it, argued that there was a reasonable doubt that the other woman was recognizable in the photos. Legally, the victim would need to be recognizable for a guilty verdict to be found. So I don't really understand what that. So didn't show her face, or her face was blurred or something?
Yeah, some women, and guys, when they're sending the sexy photos, will, not include their face just in case, that there's a breakup and they don't want it to obviously be them. So they'll try and do it discreetly.
I don't really understand that. Now, I understand that being, lying with someone naked in bed that you think the world of is one thing, but here's a picture of a butt. Who gives a rat's ass? Are they that different? Oh, look, it's a vagina. I mean, what?
Yeah, maybe I've always... it's kind of it's flirtatious. We always call it that honeymoon period. What is that?
Oh, yeah.
That's open to interpretation, a couple of months usually or something like that. But it's, and it's the thing now, I don't know how we used to. You're right. That wasn't something we used to do. It's not like we got out the old Polaroid or the Instamat or the Kodak Instant camera and snap some pictures. But I guess it's just so easy to do now.
Yeah, yep. That's very, very true. Look, I find women to be very attractive. Good. I'm done now. See, I find women to be attractive. Isn't that good for me? Right?
Yeah.
All works out in the end. If you've been sitting on the fence about getting married, it's time to walk down the aisle. Here are some of the benefits of getting married. You'll live longer. You'll earn more money. You won't have to deal with dating apps. Married people tend to be happier. And perhaps the best reason to get married, you'll have more meaningful sex than single people. Look at all the things we've been telling you all along, but you didn't listen to us now, did you? You
no
agree
negatives.
With
this? Yes. For all these reasons, if it's a bad marriage,
Yeah, that's got to be a bitch. Being in a bad marriage has got to be tough, man. I would not like that at all, I don't think. I've been in bad relationships. Well, not even bad, really. It's just relationships that didn't work out. But yeah, it's got to be tough being in a marriage that's not working out. It's got to be a tough road to hoe, man, I would think.
I think divorce rates are down because people used to get married a lot younger. And you change so fundamentally from 20 to 30, right, Candace? I think as a person so by the time you're 20, you get hitched at 20, there's a very good chance by the time you're 28, you're just not seeing eye to eye.
Yep. No, I've seen it over and over again. I have some friends who've been married, 3-4 times. And you ever going to learn? You're not good at this.
Can't get it right.
Maybe it's you. That's a possibility. Might be you. I'm not sure. Marketing startup, Iterable? How would you pronounce it? Is it Iterable?
Don't know that one.
Iterable. Iterable. I'm going with Iterable Incorporated. Dismissed its chief executive officer over violations of company policy. Iterable said in a note to employees on Monday. The fired CEO, Justin Zhu, said the board's chief reason for ousting him was that he took LSD, an illegal drug in the U.S., before meeting in 2019. Zhu told Bloomberg he was experimenting by taking a limited amount of the drug or microdosing in an effort to boost his focus. In an email to staff, well, did it work?
Acid? Okay.
Why would you tell anyone you did it is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
In an email to staff co-founder Andrew, God, I hope his name is Bonnie, not Boney. B-O-N-I, could be Boney. Said Zhu's dismissal was over unspecified violations of Iterable's employee handbook policies and values. The board replaced you with Boney as CEO. Boney wrote. I'm sure his name is Bonnie, but I'm going with Boney. Spokeswoman for the San Francisco-based company didn't immediately provide a comment. Zhu's behavior also undermined the board's confidence in Justin's ability to lead the company going forward. Boney wrote in his note obtained by Bloomberg. He also described Zhu as a world-class innovator and creative thinker whose vision, creativity, and passion will remain a core part of our culture. Although the use of drugs like LSD remain controversial, they have gained acceptance in parts of Silicon Valley and in some medical circles. Steve Jobs, the late co-founder of Apple Incorporated, told his biographer, taking LSD was a profound experience. One of the most important things in my life, MDMA, known as ecstasy, is currently at the Food and Drug Administrator's phase 3 stage of testing for use to treat post-traumatic stress disorder. Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't either. I had no idea they were doing that. But, so do you take LSD and you start hearing and say, I took LSD once and nothing happened.
Really?
Yeah, I did Coke once, nothing happened. Did LSD once, nothing happened.
Yeah.
So you think they were both fake?
Well, yeah, but Coke often is. I mean, it's been cut so many times, and there's so much crap in it that, who knows if anyone's, except for the uber wealthy or really connected, have done really good Coke. But, yeah, the LSD, who knows? It could be the same thing, too. Putting a little tab of paper in your mouth that someone cooked up somewhere. So, yeah, I would think that it's not uncommon at all. First pot I ever bought in Minneapolis was oregano at the parking ramp over there in Calhoun Square. Nicked me for $20 and a bag of oregano, which I tried to smoke, by the way. That's what a dumb hick I was before I realized it wasn't pot. Kind of burns if you've ever smoked oregano on the old windpipe.
Well, I bet. Jesus.
If you're interested in that subject, there's a series on Netflix. It's called Unwell. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they did one of the episodes. They deal with ayahuasca and psychedelics that are being used to treat depression and anxiety and PTSD. It's fascinating.
I would imagine, yeah. Well, hey, look, I mean, drugs, if you can use them for the greater good, that's why they were invented in the first place, right? To try to help people, I'm assuming. I don't know. We shall see. But I was never much of a drug guy anyway. I smoked some pot when I was a kid, and I take THC to sleep now. But yeah, the one time with the Coke and the one time with the LSD, and I was like, whatever. So I suppose in a way I'm glad that nothing really did happen. It just wasn't worth it. Thanks to the pandemic, everyone has been streaming a lot of television, but even though there's a seemingly endless array of new shows, the ones that get the most views are old shows. Yeah, we talked about this last week, I remember. That older shows. Well, I'm watching some older shows. Found a show called Cold Squad. It's a Canadian show. There's a show called Blood. It's an Irish show that's really good. It's about a woman who comes back home after one of her parents is killed, and all this stuff goes on. There's some really, really good TV. The Office was the most streamed show last year, despite going off the air almost 10 years ago. Other popular old shows include The Sopranos, Friends, New Girl, and Vampire Diaries. It's interesting. You go with Vampire Diaries and Sopranos, other than that, it's humor. That's a good sign that people are looking to laugh. It's starting to get to them, so they're looking to get a good laugh out of life, which is cool. A new BBC report suggests that people may prefer old shows to new ones because it's more familiar, comforting, and stress-free, especially sitcoms. A few years back, a researcher looked into the concept and found that repeats create a sense of social surrogacy or kinship with the characters. Settle down. Give them a call and find out if they know you. If they don't know you, settle down. There's no kinship. Relax. Another researcher warns that you shouldn't equate watching repeats with boosting mental health. He said, quote, "What's the reason you're watching TV? Too much TV will ultimately lead to stagnation. It's physically sedentary, and exercise is maybe the most effective single treatment for depression. Mentally, TV watching is also sedentary. It's okay to rest your mind, but you should also be engaging your brain in something more active. It's worth pointing out that they're assuming that all of these people are rewatching the shows, which might be the case for the majority. But some of these shows are over a decade old now, so it's very possible they're reaching new audiences. Oh, yeah, I think that's absolutely true. Especially since it's very easy to catch up on old shows on streaming devices. even if you like physical media, you'd have to admit that it takes a lot more initiative to go out and drop a big chunk of change on a box set. I got a question for you guys, because we already dealt with this on the podcast, but what are we going to do if the comedians come back and, like, toward the end of it, about a year and a quarter, year and a half ago, that all politicians got so one-sidedly political that it wasn't funny anymore? Remember that a couple of years ago when stand-up comedy just wasn't, everybody was just bitter and angry? Remember that?
There was a fear and hesitancy, too. I think that was
Yes.
a big factor. They were afraid to offend.
Right. So what are we going to do about that? We got to have some laughs, man. We need some comedy. We need people going, go after one another. What are they going to do? Throw you out of the country? Come on, let's be funny. Or is that not funny anymore at all?
That was a pretty
Like,
good
can I
line.
not say, yeah, Candace, nice shirt? That kind of thing. Or is it too offensive now?
You can't judge apparel like you used to be able to do.
It's out of bounds now. It's beyond the pale. That's all I know. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I hope stand-up comedy particularly, makes a huge return, because we really do need to laugh. No doubt about it. Our special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Natasha Perez, her role as Yolanda Saldivar in season 2 of the hit series Selena, premiering on Netflix tomorrow. Natasha, how are you today?
I'm very good. How are you?
Magnificent. You want to laugh, Natasha? Don't you think we should get stand-up comedy going again, and we should all laugh and have a good time and take it easy? What do you say?
Oh, by all means. I'm a major improv girl and comedy girl, and I've ventured a little bit on stand-up for a couple of years, so we need that laugh, please.
Oh, tell me what. So you did stand-up? You do some stand-up once in a while?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of the improv. I really adore it. It's a science, I do have to say. It can be very mathematical for the one that does it.
No, there's no question about it. Did you ever, on stage, you ever point at a guy and go, hey, nice shirt? That kind of thing?
Well, yeah, we learn how to riff with the audience is one of the things that by any chance you forget your material. So you try to be as, a well-written stand-up, but sometimes, like, either the people are not digging what you're talking, or you just, like, forgot your material. You're like, hey, nice shirt. What do you do, sir? Lawyer.
See?
Okay, let me move on. I don't want to walk it right now. You start just riffing with people, so.
I like that. Natasha, that's a great take on it. I love that. Natasha has the prominent role of Yolanda Saldivar, the RN-turned-fan club president of Selena, who tragically murders the uprising superstar. That was a hell of a story anyway in real life. What a story that was. Man.
Yeah, speaking of lawyers.
Speaking of lawyers.
Yeah, well, I'm very excited because the show starts on Netflix tomorrow, and we can all watch it, and we can watch the season. And this season is particularly about, well, this part, because it's a miniseries, so it's a two-part. And the first part was about her childhood and her beginnings and the upbringing of her band, and bring an artist from since she was a kid. And now the second part is more about the story that we know, that the adult Selena, the band, her solo career, and unfortunately, the part where she meets my characters. Yolanda becomes the manager of her fan club, and unfortunately, ends her life. And it's not a spoiler alert. You can read the story; it's out there.
Right.
I'm not ruining the show for you. Yes.
No, I'm not. I'm not talking to Natasha here. I'm talking to Yolanda. Are you nuts, or what's the deal, Yolanda?
Well, you can tell I did a lot of my research in this, and I think that Yolanda probably had a lot of trauma in her life. So
Sure.
There was definitely something going on in there. But, let's celebrate Selena in this.
So, Natasha, I mean, the first season, you're going to appear much more in season 2, from what I understand, than season 1. So that's great news for you.
Yes. Well, I appeared for 10 seconds on the part 1, and now on part 2, I'm on 8 episodes out of 9, and you get to hear my voice in some of them. So yeah, there's a lot more, because she was a lot more prominent when she was an adult, in her life. So it was super exciting and very challenging to do a production under COVID protocols. entails, all the things
Sure.
that entails. But it was exciting, and we shot in Baja California in Mexico. So that was interesting in itself. But it's a fun story. It's a musical for those that are into music, and it has a bit of rock because she had a bit of rocker in her. So I think people are going to dig it.
God, I tell you, Natasha, I did not realize that was 26 years ago that she was killed. Man.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that does not seem it was that
You were
long.
a baby.
I was a baby, Natasha. There's no question about it. I was a baby.
I'm sure you don't even remember.
I do remember when Selena was killed. Yeah, that was a very, very sad day.
What were you doing?
I was hanging out with a Tejano singer, and her. No, I was not. I made that part up. I was on this show, as a matter of fact. The day she was killed, I was doing this show. I've been on this show now since 1986, 35 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I was doing this show. That's how I found out.
Congratulations. I love radio. Radio is really exciting.
Do you do radio? You should do radio. You've got a big personality. You should do radio.
Thank you. I did radio. I used to work on
Oh, well, there you go.
107. And I used to wake up at like 3 a.m. in the morning to be in the morning show at 5. So, yay.
So good move, Natasha, getting out of radio because of 3 o'clock in the morning. Honest to
Yeah,
God.
that was the hard thing. If I wasn't in bed by 9, that meant that I didn't sleep like my 7 hours.
No, believe me, I understand every word. Natasha, is there a clear understanding of why Yolanda did what she did? Did people know why she did this?
Not really. There's a lot of
Yeah.
theories about, her falling in love or jealousy or the fact that she was caught, that she was caught doing some weird business, but we don't know. Really.
Right.
That's up to research. And, she was convicted, and in 5 years, there is a chance for her to get out on parole. So we'll see.
Oh, after only 31 years in the jug, that's not bad.
So she's, yeah. It's a hard
Selena.
thing. It's a real sensitive subject because also the producers of the show are the family, and they've been very, very careful to handle this with as much care, and we've been trying to play this with as much respect as we can. So it was even on set, like the time that it was we were going to do my scenes, everybody, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It was a hard thing for everybody to go through every day when we have to do it. So very interesting.
That is a tough deal.
Yeah.
You understand this, Natasha, as an actress, that there are people that just adore you, and if somehow they feel that you didn't adore them back, you got problems all of a sudden. That's a dangerous area.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a problem, even just with friends. There's someone in high school that they or even, when you like someone and they don't like you back, you're like, why? What did I do? But then some people take that to the next level. You're like, it's okay. Nice to meet you, buddy.
And no doubt.
Easy.
We'll be watching tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Natasha, thank you so much for your time this morning, playing the prominent role of Yolanda Saldivar, the RN turned fan club president of Selena, who tragically murders the rising superstar. And I blame Natasha for the murder. To this day, I blame you.
Oh, no.
Natasha, come back. You do a great interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too.
I love her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Big personality. Yeah, she's a very happy soul. That's not a picture of her, is it?
Yeah, that's her.
Is it really?
In the role, yeah. And there's some.
That's hilarious.
You might recognize her from something else. She seems awfully familiar in some other roles, but I haven't looked at her bio closely.
She does have a look on one of her promo pictures. A look on her face like I don't think you'd want to piss her off. That looks a little scary, man. I'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
Now, what a great personality she's got, though. You could tell that she was in radio before. She's very good at doing radio. No question. She was terrific. Honest to God, though, why do I have to admit it was 26 years ago, for Christ's sake? It seems like it was 3-4 years ago.
Right.
Damn it. Life is passing me by, and it's your fault, Candace.
I know. I love how she said you were a baby.
You were a baby. You were a baby back then. Yes, I was, Natasha. I was a baby, no question. Everyone kind of had a feeling with something like this. Josh, is it Duggar or is it Duggar? Because I've never known.
I've never actually watched this show, but
I haven't either. No.
They keep popping up. No one's watched this show. Duggar, isn't it?
I don't have any idea. I'm going to go with Duggar. Josh Duggar was charged with receipt and possession of child pornography on Friday. He pleaded not guilty to both. His parents, Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, issued a statement saying, quote, "The accusations brought against Joshua today are very serious. It is our prayer that the truth, no matter what it is, will come to light." They're not exactly standing behind Josh here, are they? Well, they're very serious charges, and no matter what.
Well, I think this is a here we go again kind of deal, isn't it?
Yeah, seems like it. It is our prayer that the truth, no matter what it is, will come to light and that this will all be resolved in a timely manner. We love Josh and Anna and continue to pray for their family. Josh made headlines in 2015 when it was revealed that he had molested 5 girls in the early 2000s. 4 of them were his own sisters. Jesus. The family handled the situation privately at the time. Later in 2015, Josh admitted to cheating on his wife, Anna. Okay, I have a question. You molest your own sisters and a woman marries you? Jesus. That's quite a roll of the dice, don't you think there, Anna?
I think they were married when that came to light.
Oh, God. Ugh. Jesus. Later in 2015, Josh admitted to cheating on his wife, Anna, and said he had a porn addiction. Josh and Anna are currently expecting their 7th child.
All right, I stand corrected because she's still with him and having children.
Oh, God. 7 children with this pig. I don't know, what are they going to do with this guy? So, what is that? What is that sexual addiction thing when you get to the point that you just cannot help I don't get it. Do you get it?
Well, Tom,
no.
When I have those thoughts. But you're right. I mean, it's incomprehensible.
It really is.
And you just don't know. Incarcerate them, I guess. Therapy and incarceration. They can't seem to bottle it up, put it away.
Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like they can get it done. I don't know what the hell they got cooking. Nara Prefectural Police have arrested a 37-year-old woman for allegedly stalking a police officer stationed at the Nara Police Station in Nara City. According to Kyoto News, Kanako Onishi, a part-time civic employee for Nara City, met the victim after he arrested her last year for stalking. On around April 22nd, Onishi allegedly violated a previous warning by sending a letter to the officer, an assistant inspector in his 40s. "I want to enter to your family register," she wrote in using the word koseki. "I don't want to live apart. I think I'm in love." On Monday, police accused Onishi of violating the stalker control law. She admits to the allegation, police say. So she fell in love with the guy who arrested her. Is that correct?
Yeah, stalking the officer who arrested her for stalking. Yes, it's
okay.
It's part of her personality. You don't feel special. I had a very unfortunate situation early in my career at KQ, and I was doing, where was I? A bowling alley in Apple Valley, I think. What's that? Is that Apple Bowl? I can't remember. So many years ago.
I think so. I think it is, yeah.
I used to do a singles night there, a battle of the sexes. You get your gals out there and your guys, and you ask the questions, and everybody has a couple of beers, and you go home. And this lady kept showing up and turned into a bit of a stalker. Wanted to have my baby. And, and I, because I was stupid and young and drinking a lot, I lampooned her a bit on the day, while I was doing the game show. This lady wants to have my baby and humiliated her a bit, right? All in good fun. I wasn't trying to be mean to her, but I was certainly being mean to someone who clearly had a mental illness. But anyway, so she had an incident in the parking lot. She's fine, took care of it. But as it sort of unfolded, it turns out I was like the 3rd DJ that she did this with.
Oh,
you talk about not feeling special.
So it was
what?
You and Wally and
some dude in Duluth. Duluth. a DJ in Duluth, but at our, what do they call it, our sister station, the one we were associated with for a while.
Oh,
KPBS or whatever, yeah.
Yeah,
but, she had a history of it, so it's just some people that's just hardwired into their personality for some reason.
I guess so. Whatever, lady. Why don't you dial her back? Why don't you settle down there, sister?
Mm-hmm.
Although rideshare companies like Uber and Lyft were initially hailed as a way to reduce road congestion, that notion's been thoroughly debunked in the past year. Why would you think that Uber and Lyft would cause a reduction in road congestion? Well, if your car is on the road much more because you're transporting passengers, how would that reduce traffic? That makes no sense.
Yeah, right.
None.
It's not public. It is public transportation, but it's not like they're picking up everyone along the way
No.
until all the seats are full.
What a weird, I don't know. However, a new MIT study found that not only do ride shares increase congestion, of course they do, but they also made traffic jams longer, led to a significant decline in people taking public transit, and haven't really impacted car ownership. The study, titled Impacts of Transportation Networks on Urban Mobility, was a joint effort conducted by researchers from Singapore MIT Alliance for Research and Technology and Tongji University. It looks at monthly congestion data from the metropolitan areas in the U.S. that had Uber and or Lyft since 2016, as well as regular public transit ridership reports. Uber accounts for about 69% of the rideshare market, while Lyft accounts for about 29%. What happened to the taxi business? Is the taxi business still solid, or has it been hurt deeply by this? Do you know?
It has to have been hurt deeply, I think. I had a buddy that he's retired, and maybe it's one of the reasons he's retired from driving a cab. But he's at retirement age. But that's what he claims. He said Uber and Lyft just killed it.
I suppose they did. I used to like that yellow cab, blue and white cab. I like that stuff.
He was with green and white.
Green and white, red and white. There were all kinds of something in white. That's all I know. But yeah, I why you would think that it would decrease traffic makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't know what kind of math you do, but you better sharpen your skills. That's all I have to say. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. In this May 2nd, 2017 file photo, people walk past a Verizon store in Manhattan's Midtown. Oh, we're not doing that?
Oh, that was part of the photo caption.
Oh, okay. AOL and Yahoo are being sold again, this time to a private equity firm. Verizon will sell Verizon Media, which consists of the pioneering tech platforms, to Apollo Global Management in a $5 billion deal. Verizon said Monday that it will keep a 10% stake in the new company, which would be called Yahoo. Well, they brought Yahoo back. There you go. Yahoo at the end of last century was the face of the Internet, preceding the behemoth tech platforms to follow, such as Google and Facebook. And AOL was the portal, bringing almost everyone who logged on during the Internet's earliest days. Verizon had hoped to ride the acquisition of AOL to a quick entry into the mobile market, spending more than $4 billion on the company in 2015. The plan was to use the advertising platform pioneered by AOL to sell digital advertising. 2 years later, it spent even more to acquire Yahoo and combined the two. However, the speed at which Google and Facebook have grown dashed those hopes, and it became very clear very quickly that it was unlikely to reach Verizon's highest aspirations for the two. So, once again, they were just crushed by Google and Facebook, I guess. I still am very uncomfortable with how much power those companies do have. That's a little unsettling if you ask me. Oakland A's starting pitcher Jesus Luzardo is going to miss some time with an injury. He also joins an exclusive list of baseball players who have suffered bizarre off-field injuries. The 23-year-old lefty broke his pinky finger while playing video games before his start on Saturday, according to manager Bob Melvin. Luzardo got a little too animated while playing the game and bumped his finger on a desk. Bumped? He broke his finger. It's a little more than a bump. Although the pinky was bothering him, he still went on and started the game, allowing 6 runs on 5 hits through only 3 innings on the way to an 8-4 loss to the Baltimore Orioles. After the game, an X-ray revealed the fracture in his pinky, and he was put on the 10-day injured list. Baseball players have a lot of downtime when they're not on the field, and many have suffered strange injuries. Here are some notable boo-boos. Almost all of them have gotten gonorrhea. No, it doesn't say that. Well, there's a lot of downtime, so you know.
Yeah.
Orioles outfielder Marty Cordova once missed some time because he got burned in a tanning bed. I remember this one. Hall of Famer Wade Boggs had to sit out a few games after he hurt his back trying to put on cowboy boots.
Oh, my God.
Well, those new boots.
Oh, yeah. I can't wear cowboy. My calves are too big. They don't fit. Seriously, I got gigantic calves, and they will not fit over my calves. I like cowboy boots. I just can't wear them.
Get those
And I'm
ankle
not-
high.
Yeah,
zip-up
let's get the
boots.
slipper ones. That'd be good. Yeah, that's a good look. Ernie Camacho, a reliever who spent most of his career with the Indians in the 80s, sat out a few games due to elbow pain he suffered after signing too many autographs at a charity event. That's made up. You don't injure your elbow signing your name. What really happened, Ernie? Ricky Henderson missed several games in August due to frostbite. In August? Okay. Outfielder Moises Alou once missed some games after he injured his knee when he somehow managed to ride over his son with a bike. Okay. Braves closer Cecil Upshaw missed the entire 1970 season when he got his ring caught on an awning as he was showing off his slam dunk techniques.
Ouch.
Aaron Boone injured his knee in a pickup basketball game, which ultimately terminated his contract with the Yankees. It ended his career, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Mets outfielder Yoenis Cespedes fractured his ankle running away from a wild boar on his ranch. Yeah, they get a little pissed off, don't they, those wild boars?
Yeah. They'll just domestic pigs even. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
livestock pigs. Oh, yeah, they're nasty.
Jesus, who needs it? Who needs it? That's all I got to say. Now that I'm trying to think of any Minnesota Twins ever. I don't remember anyone getting an injury that was weird. I don't think we ever have. I doubt it, because otherwise we'd remember it. From Cheerios to Sour Patch Kids, we're sharing decades of food innovation. What food product came out the year you were born?
All right, I'll just scroll here, and then you stop me when you see yours.
Okay, not yet. That's my grandfather's year right there. We're moving. We're coming closer, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, not yet. Well, you got a lot of scrollers, man. There's a lot of stuff on here.
All right, I'll go faster here.
No, there it is. Right. Oh, you know what? Not a shock, ladies and gentlemen. This boozy flaming dessert of bananas, brown sugar, rum, liqueur, and ice cream was created in New Orleans at the famous Brennan's restaurant. The owner wanted a new and unusual dessert, and fortunately there were heaps of bananas in the kitchen. The inspiration to ignite the dessert came from another popular treat at the time, Baked Alaska. Bananas Foster were invented the year I was born.
I used to work with a guy, his last name was Foster. He would get so pissed off, we called him Bananas.
Oh, come on. It's funny.
He didn't
Now
like it.
I think I'm the next oldest, so we're going to scroll up here to 66. Where am I at? All right. It's my favorite food on the planet.
Well, see,
No
there
wonder.
you go. We're both very happy. I had Bananas Foster. You got Doritos.
Woohoo!
You might be surprised to learn that when Doritos were first released by Frito-Lay, they didn't have a famous Doritos flavor. They were just tortilla chips. The nacho cheese flavoring was introduced 6 years later, and snack lovers were hooked. We've had orange Dorito stained fingers ever since. Oh, you do get Dorito stained fingers. No doubt about it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now, do we have to whisper Tony's birth year?
I don't know. I don't know it.
I don't either.
83.
83. Yeah, making it up as you go along. 83. Okay.
All right, well, if you know.
No, just for that, go back to 1920. Just because he was trying to be a wise ass.
Some kind of biscuit, see?
It was a biscuit, let me tell you.
Well, we can move
Also-
along to Candace.
Tony doesn't want to do his. Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. It's our feelings. And then yours was, 1991, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
geez.
91. Oh, we got a ways to go then still. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking at home. Yes, you're right. Yet again, Tony ruined it. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
Oh, God, Candace, you got tanked.
Why?
Yeah.
You got screwed. We start out with bananas Foster. We go on to Doritos, and your birth year, fruit by the foot. How lame is that?
Hey, I love those.
Lame as hell.
Those were so good.
That's the same as fruit roll-ups.
Yeah, but they're different because they're longer.
Because they're by the foot?
Skinnier.
I've never had it. Is it any good?
Yeah, I used to love that when I was a kid. Probably would turn my stomach inside out now, but
Possibly. Fruit roll-ups have been around several years by 1991, but kids in the 90s were all about snacking to the extreme like a rolled-up 3-foot-long fruit snack strip. Produced by Betty Crocker, the extra-long fruit roll-ups also came in creative tie-dye and tongue tattoo variety.
oh yeah. Yup.
All right. You know what we'll do? We'll put this up on the KQ Facebook page if people want to track down the food that came out the year they were born.
So what did come out in 1920, the year that Tony was born?
And we only go back to 1940.
Damn it!
I think it starts with, what is it here? Oh, yeah.
Peppermint patties, York peppermint patties in 1940.
Really?
Yeah.
And then in 1941, it was German and Japanese hearts. Is that right? Was that the snack because of World War II? A little Russian thrown in at the end there, you know. Cheerios were the big treat in the first year of America's involvement in World War II, 1941. Oh, Brooklyn. What's Brooklyn blackout cake? I've never even heard of it. Indulgence doesn't even begin to describe this rich chocolate layer cake, one of the most popular desserts made by Ebbinger's, Brooklyn-based bakery chain, named for the mandatory wartime blackouts in the city. Oh, that's why it's called Brooklyn blackout cake. Okay. The blackouts in the city. Layered with chocolate pudding, and fudgy icing. The bakery closed in the 1970s. Add the original Ebbinger's recipe. Still remains a secret. They do not know how they made it. God, that Brooklyn blackout cake looks really good, I'll tell you that. Deep dish pizza in 1943. So during the war, they got I didn't know frozen dinners came out in World War II.
Yeah.
I had no idea that was. Do you think they were trying to figure out a way to feed the troops, like, in a portable manner?
Oh, it might have been a result of sea rations. Sea rats, they used to call them back in the day. It was different when I got in. MREs, meals ready to eat, is what you have now.
Right.
But, it could have been a result of all that. I suppose freezing, was that were refrigerators starting to get freezers back then? In other words, you didn't have the old ice box. So frozen stuff was all the rage. I don't know, but it's good to kill a couple of minutes at work if you need to. So we'll put her up on the Facebook page.
Absolutely. And they've never gotten an answer to my question. How do you handle a hungry man? I've never understood it. Remember, that was their slogan. Manhandlers. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's true. The fact that this guy reacted so fast makes me think he thought it through. Like, if anyone ever tries to rob me at a gas station, here's what I'll do. A man in Chile was filling his car with gas when a van pulled up and 3 guys tried to rob him, but they left empty-handed because he immediately yanked the nozzle out of his car. Yeah, baby. Started hosing them in the face with gasoline. I love this guy. Love you. God, my hero. A security camera got it on video, and the entire thing only lasted 10 seconds. The first thief jumped out, got a face full of gas. He retreated. Then a second guy got blasted in the face while he was still climbing out of the van. The third thief probably got it the worst, though, because he was only a few feet away when the guy spun around and started hosing him in the face. Then he kept spraying gas into their van as they drove off, so the driver got soaked, too. I love this guy.
Not having a smoke on the way home.
No, I would not do that. You're absolutely right about that. No smoking on the way home, Pally. What a great story. I love that story. Yeah, you want to be a pro. Oh, there's video of it.
I didn't see this at first, yeah.
Oh, look at the big van pulls up. They don't really block him. Oh, he reacted immediately.
Yeah.
I love this guy. Oh, there's one guy. They're going to leave that one guy behind.
He schooled him for about, $5.50 or whatever.
That's true. Absolutely.
$6. Yeah.
Well, here it is again.
Damn.
So, I mean, the second this guy gets out of his car, he starts spraying him right in the face because he sees they got masks on. And they're not COVID masks either. That is fantastic.
I love it. All right, well, I'm going to have to get that up on. Oh, that's a tweet. I haven't figured out. Maybe Candace. She's our IT guru. How do you get tweets on the Facebook page? Oh, yeah, just tweet it on the KQ page.
Yeah.
Listen, don't let me remind you here that her birth year was like fruit roll-ups.
I know. That's so lame.
It's the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life. You know.
Yeah.
If you want to get good money for a car when you sell it one day, plan on driving around in a Banana or the Wienermobile. A new study looked at which car colors hold their value the best over the years. And yellow cars sell for the highest average price of any color. I disagree. It's black, and you know it's black. There's no way that yellow cars sell more. Well, the average price, maybe it is because it's average price.
Maybe they're more like sports cars that come in yellow.
Yeah, that's probably true. I've never had a yellow car. I had an orange car once, a Volkswagen, when I worked at KNOX in Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Did you have a Beetle?
A bug?
No, it wasn't a bug. It was the fastback or slopeback or whatever the hell they call it. What did they call it?
Scirocco.
Was it a Scirocco?
I don't know.
I don't know what the hell it was. It had that sloped back, though. It had the fastback look to it.
Right.
And I remember I was gassing her up in Fergus Falls, Minnesota, and the guy came out and said, man, that's the first time I've ever seen that a car that small that took over $10 worth of gas.
Oh,
Isn't that? That's going back a ways, huh? Jesus. Yeah, I filled it up for $10, and he was shocked that it cost me that much to fill it up. But, there you go.
I'd be equally as shocked today, but for a different reason.
That's true. Absolutely true.
Fill up for only $10.
Yeah. The color that holds its value the worst is gold. Yellow cars lose an average of about 20.4% of their value. Gold cars lose more than double that, 45.6%. The rest of the 5 worst colors are brown, purple, black, and white. Most cars are black and white. What are you talking about?
I agree, but there is a thing. I seem to run into it a lot in Minnesota. My friends didn't want black vehicles because, they get so dirty. Like a white car doesn't.
Right,
unless
exactly.
You're getting brown dirt. I guess maybe that winter salt. But I know a lot of people do shy away from black. Not me, but
I
some
like
people
black
do.
cars. Matter of fact, I own 3 cars, and all 3 of them are black. And I didn't, seek them out. I just went to buy them, and they happen to be black, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It's not that I mind cars of different colors, but I've always had, it's been a long time since I've had anything other than a black car. That's for sure.
It's that old line. What color do you want? Any color is fine as long as it's black.
Yeah, that's it. I guess. I don't really pick them out. It's just that's the car, and the car looks good. Here, we're good to go. Everything's good. Getting a dog, you'd better consider this. Your future involves putting your hand in a plastic bag to pick up warm feces twice a day for the next 12 years. That is 8,760 poop scoops. Don't I know it? Because I do love going on the walks. When Catherine walks a dog, I like to go walk, have a good time. But it's so weird. And I don't know if, now, do you take your dog out to poop, Candace?
Yes.
Okay. Does your dog always go to the same exact spot along the walk? Because Jude does.
Yeah.
Exact same spot.
That's funny.
What the hell is that now? What is it? Is it a personal toilet?
Yeah, it's their territory. Their spot.
I guess.
You ever have to pick it up with your bare hand?
Bare
no.
hand? Oh, because you
Nope.
forgot a bag.
In a hotel with Vinny, the kid's new dog, and I was taking Vinny outside, and he bolted on me. And he goes down the hallway, down another hallway left. I'm chasing him, and right there in the middle of the hallway, he drops a deuce.
Oh, God.
And then I got to get him back to the room. But if I go back to the room, and it was right in front of someone's door, 6 inches outside their door. And I thought, by the time I get him back to his room and I get back here with a bag, if someone comes out and steps on that, you know what I'm saying? So I barehanded it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was it soupy?
No.
That's
It was
good.
it was Tootsie Roll.
That's good. Glad to hear it. But it's so odd that dogs have their one. This is where I poop. Oh,
Yeah.
is it? That's your spot, is it? Okay.
Well, we have our spot. They have theirs.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. But I pay property taxes on my spot. When the hell is he going to pony up? That's what I want to know. 52-year-old Henry Wolf filed the lawsuit against BMW in San Francisco last week because he claims riding their motorcycle left him in a state of arousal for the past 20 months. It's not that he loves the bike that much. It's because a 4-hour ride on his 2012 model cycle compressed nerves in his groin and left him with a case of priapism. Priapism is the condition they always warn you about in those commercials, a state of arousal that lasts for more than 4 hours. But in Henry's case, it lasted for nearly 2 years. Whoa. Hey, how you doing, Tom? Packing heat again, you know.
Yeah.
I would not. That would be really uncomfortable. Henry's suing for more than $25,000 for lost wages, medical expenses, and damages because the problem has left him impotent. But BMW says Henry wasn't using the original seat that came with the motorcycle. He's also suing the company that made the seat. Henry's not going to get a dime from this. It ain't going to happen.
Is there a precedent? I mean,
I
I've
don't
been
think so.
riding motorcycles my whole life and been hanging out with a lot of cyclists. I've never heard of this. Maybe during the Naked Parade in Sturgis.
Oh, there you go.
Going, but
It's pronounced psychos, not cyclists. Okay, it's different, totally different.
so some of that going on too.
So it's vibration. So the vibration caused him to get an erection. Why didn't it just go away once he got off the motorcycle?
Well, right. I don't know. Was there nerve damage? I'm sure he has some quack that cooked up something for him.
Yeah, probably true. Yeah, they probably. He's not going to get any money from the. There's no. You changed the seat. It's not their fault. It's your fault. Whatever. Right after the KQ Morning Show, stay here for KQ Uninterrupted, Minnesota's classic rock without commercial interruption from 92 KQRS. All new parents know that moment they finally get a few minutes alone in bed when they're both not too exhausted to have sex again. The baby starts crying. Well, a new study out of Harvard has found out why. It turns out your baby's doing it on purpose to block you. No way. Come on. Yeah, the baby can pick up on that sex vibe. Babies are wired to try to monopolize their mother's attention. Yes, I understand that. They can somehow sense that your private time might lead to you making another baby. Come on. You're telling me that babies think, they're making another baby. Come on.
Harvard, Tom. Harvard.
Harvard. Waste of space. Change the name of that joint to Wasted Space. They've poisoned more minds than they should have been allowed to. Again. So they interfere by crying. The researchers say, quote, maternal fatigue can be seen as an integral part of an infant's strategy to extend their interbirth interval. That's the time between when you have a baby and when you have your next baby. And you're telling me the baby you have can figure that out, huh? No, sorry, yet another lie that Harvard's telling. What a shock. They've got to be professional liars over at that joint. Don't you think?
I think they've just run out of things to study, and they're just making it up now so they can get a paper in and graduate and get out and make a ton of money not doing a damn thing.
Yeah, I know 2 different people that have taught at Harvard, so that's why you get to take shots at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Well, again, it's we were talking about it earlier, perception bias. That they teach perception bias or they actually don't teach it, they use it to convince you that something's the truth when it's not the truth. It's very sneaky how they do that. Isn't that amazing that nobody cares they're lying anymore? They know they're lying when they teach the kids that, but they do it anyway for political reasons because they get more and more money from the people who've already graduated from that puke hole. I said puke hole. You heard me. Tribal leaders in northeastern Wisconsin were in shock Sunday, hours after a gunman opened fire at their casino complex, killing 2 people and wounding another in what witnesses described as a hailstorm of bullets. Brown County Sheriff's Lieutenant Kevin Pollock said the shooting in the Oneida Casino in Green Bay on Saturday night didn't appear to be a random attack. He was targeting a specific victim who was not there, but he decided to still shoot some of the victim's friends or coworkers. It appears, Pollock said at a news conference early Sunday, police responding to the scene shot the gunman to death. Oneida Chairman Tehasi Hill told WLUK-TV on Sunday that he was in disbelief and called the shooting scary. He said the tribe prohibits firearms on its properties, but that mass shootings are kind of a regular thing in this country. Yeah, well, once again, you keep pissing everybody off. Everybody's on edge. Look how much shooting there is going on now because people are beside themselves. Very dangerous position to be in, I'll tell you that. I don't like it. Is that fair to me to say? I don't like it.
Yep.
It's terrible. There aren't many problems in this world that nudity can't fix, right? Come on, I need some votes. Can nudity fix it? Of course it can. There's a motel owner in Florida who's praying that's true. Paul Hodge owns the Faulty Towers Motel. You can't name it Faulty Towers, you thief. I love it. He's got the Faulty Towers, and it's spelled Fawlty. Faulty Towers Motel in Cocoa Beach, Florida. His business had been going downhill even before the pandemic. Now he's turning to your genitalia to save him. Okay. As of Friday, the Faulty Towers are all nude. Paul is hoping he's going to draw a good crowd of nudists as one of the only clothing-free options in the area. What's in Cocoa Beach? It's a nice area, too. He says first he had to convince his wife, then he checked the laws and found that nudity is totally legal inside the motel, although the guests could get in legal trouble if they go outside in the nude. Paul also said he and his wife will be staying clothed. So, you just wander around the hotel hallways in the nude? It's a motel, first of all. So, if you can't go outside, where are you going to go? Because you have to go outside to get out of your room.
Right. Yeah, so in other words, what's the gimmick? You're just naked in your room. You can do that literally in any hotel.
Yeah, I don't understand the point here at all. Because I don't know any motels where you don't walk right out the front door of the room.
I suppose you could throw a robe on or a towel, head on into the office to ask a question, quickly disrobe, ask your question or check out, and then, robe up and back out the door you go. It seems a little pointless. I guess if it was, an indoor, it was a hotel.
It'd be different.
The pool, your pool, the bar, that kind of stuff you can hang out in nude.
Now, because it's outside, you probably couldn't swim in the pool, even if the motel had a pool, if you were naked, could you? Because it's outside.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the upside to this one at all, man. Not at all. A huge new study on religious groups in the U.S. just came out, and here are the 5 big highlights. In the past 10 years, Mormons have made the most gains, 2 million new members in congregations in 295 new counties. I wonder why that would be. Does anybody know why?
Maybe the popularity of the Broadway show, The Book of Mormon.
Yes, that must be it.
Made it cool.
I thought that play was dreadfully bad. Did you guys like that?
Didn't see it.
Mormon.
Never saw it. Is it a comedy or?
Supposed to be, yeah.
Sounds like
Okay.
Really? It's a South Park guys. It wasn't funny?
I didn't think so, no. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Those guys. Yeah.
I really do like their stuff in general. I don't know what it was about that one. It just was not funny. Maybe the guy sitting next to me was a prick or something. Who knows? Whatever. Last play I went to, there was a guy behind me that was coughing, and the man in front of me did not turn around and look at me. He just took a cough drop out of his pocket and put it over his shoulder to hand it to me. And I said, "It's the guy behind me, douchebag." And he still never turned around. I mean, what an arrogant dick. But
honey lemon.
Right.
well, thanks for the honey lemon. Yeah, could you, if you want to convince me that I'm annoying you, that I'm coughing, you maybe should make sure that I'm the one coughing. How about that?
Yeah.
Arrogant prick. Look in and just choke the shit out.
Oh my God, you
Well, it's true.
psycho.
And then you could have handed it back to him when he was trying to gasp and catch his breath.
Exactly. He started coughing. Here's your cough drop back.
We're so different. I would have taken it and been like, thanks, free candy.
Licorice. I like black licorice cough drops, man. I'm one of the few people on earth that likes black licorice, apparently. Why don't people like black licorice?
It's 'cause it's disgusting.
Oh, well, there's the answer. Okay, so back to this. A huge new study on religious groups in the U.S. just came out. And here are the big 5 highlights. A lot of Mormons, 2 million new Mormons. Muslims are the second fastest growing religion with 1 million new members in just Minneapolis alone. Thank you very much. Great to be here. 1 million new members and 197 new It says counties. They don't mean countries. 197 new counties?
No, this is in the U.S., so yeah.
Okay. All right. 80% of Americans claim to be Christian, but only 49% are affiliated with the congregation. So, I love you get to Christianity, they got to throw you the negative on it. You people are so wired into this college crap that you learned. All other religions are fine, just not the American one. I mean, come on, really? Whatever. Yeah, because Mormons and Muslims are so much better than Christians. They're pretty much all the same, don't you think? Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think your religion determines the quality of your character.
No. There are almost 350,000 religious congregations in the U.S. across at least 236 different faiths and traditions. I didn't even know there were 236 different faiths.
Yeah.
Geez, I had no idea that many. The largest non-Christian groups vary by region. Buddhism is biggest in the West. Islam is biggest in most of the Midwest and South. Judaism is biggest in the Northeast, and Hinduism is largest in Arizona. Who knows? I mean, I suppose because I was baptized Catholic that I would be a Christian, and I don't have this anti-Christian thing like most people do. I think Christians, just like every other religion, 99% of them are really good people. You get the people that bash the Muslims, and you got the people that bash the Mormons, you got people that bash the Christians, but only when it comes to the news reporting world, comes to the news world, Christians are the worst people on earth. But why do you think it is that Americans hate themselves so much? Why do you think that is?
Our success. Why else would you hate yourself?
It's exactly
generally
what it is.
if you're a deviant, you don't end up hating yourself because you're not psychologically aware of that. But but if you're very successful, some people are ashamed of their success, or maybe they think it was just given to us. I don't know.
Well, and another reason for that is that people resent the piss out of success, so that probably gives them some of their guilt too. Because boy, if you're successful, man, people just resent the hell out of you. I mean, if you football players that are making $20 million a year think that people don't resent the hell out of you, you're wrong, because they do. I mean, $20 million a year is a lot of money, baby. Don't you think?
Yeah.
But I suppose as long as you entertain me by being a good football player, I guess I can forgive you. Is the way that people look at it. I assume. I don't know. Whatever. A reporter in Memphis was on location last week when a car crash happened on the street right behind her. The audio at KQ.
UMC Action News 5's Kelly Roberts joins us live in the busy medical district with this story. Kelly?
Yep,
Hannah.
and I'm not here to cover the crash that just happened behind me, but I hope everyone's okay there.
What town was this in? Do you know what town that's in? Because there's a walkway up there, kind of. Well, it's not a skyway like in Minnesota. Does it say where they are? Action News 5 is all I know, man.
W.
I have no
It
idea where
doesn't
they are.
say here.
No, it doesn't say where they are.
KMC 5.
Yeah, WMC 5. It says WMC 5 up there in the left-hand corner.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
so
there
you
it
go.
is. Yeah.
There it is. So who the hell knows? No pipeline, protect aquifer. Okay.
I was going with some state news. Must be in Tennessee.
Must be in Tennessee. I think you're right. I think it is. Although there's Tupelo, it's probably down on the Tennessee border. That'd be my guess where it is. So there you have it. Because the only reason I bring it up is that woman looks familiar. So I don't know if she worked in the Minneapolis market or whatever, but she does look familiar. Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick have been friends for over 30 years, going all the way back to when they made the 1987 horror flick The Lost Boys. But there was a little hiccup in their friendship back in 1991. If you recall, Kiefer had been dating Julia Roberts, and they were supposed to get married on June 14th of that year. Instead, Kiefer was spotted on that day moving out of the home they had shared together. Turns out they had broken up and called off the wedding. And where was Julia seen on that day? Having lunch with Jason, and then flying to Ireland with Jason. Kiefer and Jason have never talked about this publicly until now. They addressed it in this week on a podcast called Inside of You. Kiefer admitted it was a difficult time for him, but he had to quote the truth when where I'm coming from. You fall in love, you fall in love. There's nothing you can do about that. She's an extraordinary person, and he is too, and timing is what is. It is what it is, and everybody moves on from that. They actually hadn't seen each other for about 20 years after the incident, but they hooked up again somewhere around 2009, and in 2011 they did a Broadway show together. Jason said, quote, "When I saw him again, there were a few words and more of a laugh and a toast. I've said before that he and Julia have both been subsequently married since a couple of times. And I think they're both very happy in their lives. Why'd you point out they were married a couple of times then if they're so happy? You had to point that part out. What lasted, after all, is that me and Kiefer, as 35-year-old buddies, Kiefer compared them to Eric Clapton and George Harrison, who were friends to the end, even though they fought over Patty Boyd. Yeah, I've never been in that situation. I've never taken. I know it's hard for you to believe, but I've never taken a woman away from another man. I know it's difficult to deal with, but it's never happened to me either. So I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I guess that Hollywood crowd is a different kettle of fish, though, isn't it? They are interesting people. I guess they just do that stuff all the time. Here's another sign we're all getting worse and worse at any form of in-person contact with others. There is no doubt about that. I've been bringing that up on the air for quite some time now. In-person contact with human beings is getting really rare, which makes me uncomfortable. Doesn't that make you uncomfortable? Mm-hmm. No, it doesn't. You at all, Candace?
I don't know.
You prefer it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's your age group. There's no doubt about that. I think the reason for me is it was a little dangerous to be wandering around some parts of where I grew up. So keeping an eye and making sure, hey, how you doing? Making contact was a big part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because Maybe it's because I'm a woman. I just don't need to talk to strangers.
Well, you can't even look at them and go, hello.
Nah.
That's it. It's too much, huh?
I mean, sometimes I'm walking around the lake, I'll smile, but I just don't need to. I don't know you.
Okay, try this out. Next time you do that, go, your shoes suck. And then just keep walking. What do you say?
All right. I'll try
Just
it.
go that route. See how it works. Report back to me.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Here's another sign we're all getting worse and worse at any form of in-person contact with other human beings. According to a new survey, 60% of people say they'd rather get it on with themselves than with a partner. BS. We got a lot of BS in the news this morning. Is all news lying now?
Yes.
You'd rather get it on with yourself than with a partner.
Compared to some guys I've hooked up with, yes.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, the odd one here and there, but obviously you'd rather be in a loving, intimate relationship. But well,
for Christ's
sake. I felt the same way for 30 years.
Can. What are you gonna do? Yeah, the only problem is when you're by yourself whacking them all, you can't go bark like a dog. You know what I mean?
You could.
It's not going to work. But
yeah, right.
It's not going to work. But 2 out of 3 people say the best climactic moment of their lives came solo and not with someone else. That's ridiculous. God, what a shallow life you have. It's one of the joys of being human. I don't care if you're heterosexual, homosexual, whatever you are, but having sex with another person is like one of the greatest moments in time. Don't you think?
Well, there's the old Woody Allen line, don't knock masturbation, it's sex with somebody I love.
Yeah.
There you go. It's absolutely true.
I hate Woody Allen, but I like that.
I understand. The survey also found the average person starts experimenting with self-action when they're 15. Well, there you have it. I would say that's probably a little high, too. I would guess it's more like 12 or 13, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15 is, I don't know. Well, maybe it is now. Maybe they don't even want to hang out with themselves anymore. You think that might have to do with it?
Maybe.
It could be. Got to get Frank Vassalero on. I just heard that spot for CCO there. I got to send Frank a message. Vassalero's a great guy. No. Well, I don't know about a great guy, but he's a pretty good guy. And I did see, I was at my mother-in-law's burial on Friday, so I wasn't able to come in on Friday, but I did see that Dave Lee had many, many people, the governor, a couple of former governors, former senators, people like that calling and congratulate him. I don't know Dave real well, but I've met him a few times. A very, very nice guy. Very, very laid back, just a really good guy. So nice career, Dave, no doubt about it. And it was very nice for all those people to come on and give you the nod at the end of your run at CCO. It was very cool. You never know what's going to catch on. This could be the next big thing, pun intended. There's a plus-size boy band out of China called Produce Pandas. Or is it Produce Pandas? I don't know. Is it Produce or Produce? Do you know?
Not familiar.
I have no idea. I'm going to go Produce Pandas because they're, like to eat. What do you say? The member, okay. Here are your members: Ding, Cass, Husky, Otter, and Mr. 17. Well, they only weigh an average of 220. Well, how tall are they? 5 feet tall? 220 is not that big anymore. I mean, it was back in the day. I suppose it depends on how you got up to 220, I guess, maybe. I don't know. They're also older than the average boy band. Mr. 17 is the oldest. He's 31.
Okay, now it's weird.
Now it's weird. Cass says produce pandas have an important advantage over other bands in the genre. Quote, we don't mind eating like a horse. I feel sorry for the little fresh meat bands whose members must follow a diet to stay slim. I feel great whenever they look on enviously as we dig in. These guys are not that heavy. Was that their picture right there you just put up there?
Yeah.
They're not fat.
I mean, a couple of them aren't even chubby. I mean, barely.
What the hell are they talking? These guys aren't fat at all.
I guess maybe because they're just not these young, pretty, bony things.
Yeah, I bet you that's what it is. No, I would say they're very average-sized looking people to me. 220's not fat anymore. Again, I suppose it depends on, you got to have some muscle. If you don't have any muscle and you weigh 220, then yes, you're going to be quite heavy. Do you believe the month you were born and the relative position of the planets and stars affect every single aspect of your life? If so, get ready for some spoiler alerts on your future income. You got major problems. So here, maybe we have major problems. Researchers examined the zodiac signs of over 1,000 richest people in England, including Paul McCartney, and basically no one else you've heard of. And they figured out which astrological signs are most common among those rich people. Gemini came in first. 10% of the people on the list had birthdays between May 21st and June 20th. Okay, so that would be both my grandkids were Geminis. May 26th and June 13th. So they're going to be very wealthy someday. Capricorn was second, which means a birthday between December 22nd and January 19th. My daughter-in-law was born on December 24th, 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there.
I'm a Capricorn. When's this supposed to kick in anyway? This rich thing?
You're a Capricorn. Where the hell's the do-re-mi?
Right.
That's what you need to know. So, Tony, it's May, let's see. When's your birthday, Tony?
Candace and I are both Aries. I'm a March baby.
Oh, that's right. That's right, exactly. We're not going to do the next one because that's what I am, and of course, shock of the goddamn century. Scorpios came out the worst. Only 6.5% of the people on the list had birthdays between October 23rd and November 21st. That would be me, my son, about 2 sisters, a lot of people.
My dad.
Your dad's in there.
My sister, my son.
Oh, God, we're all going to go under. It's terrible. The full list from richest to poorest goes Gemini, Capricorn, Aries, Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, Cancer, Pisces, Libra, Aquarius, Virgo, and then Tom, who's a Scorpio. Okay, don't worry about my feelings. I'm sure I'll get by somehow. I'll squeeze by. I'll get a fourth job. What do you say?
Yeah, I think you're doing all right.
Might be time. This guy's robbery was really a double failure. He got caught, and he didn't steal what he actually wanted. Back in February, a 22-year-old guy named Rudy Batten busted into a McDonald's in Bristol, England, with a fake gun and a knife, and he demanded 2 things: all the money in the safe and some chicken McNuggets. Of course he did. The employees gave him all $600 or so they had in the safe, but they couldn't help him with the McNuggets because it was breakfast hours. And as we all know, McDonald's cannot and will not make lunch food during breakfast hours or vice versa, even if you've got weapons on you. So Rudy had to settle for a double sausage McMuffin. Okay. The police were able to identify him from the security camera footage. Now, is it in Bristol, England? I didn't know they had double sausage McMuffins in England. Did you know that?
I guess.
I don't think they have them in America. Do they have double sausage McMuffins in America?
I don't know.
I don't think so. The police were able to identify him from the security camera footage. He was arrested, and earlier this week he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. Oh, man. Ooh, there's a mugshot, though. He doesn't really look that dim-witted. I don't know what his problem is. Got some problem of some kind, but I don't know. Stop robbing people. What do you say? Let's not rob people. Take that home with you. The Vikings had a pretty impressive draft over the weekend, so maybe it's not so wrong to get excited about the upcoming extended 17-game season on KQ.
You're invited to a Super Bowl party, but football is like a foreign language to you.
I'm not very sportsy.
Afraid you won't fit in with the guys?
I'm afraid.
Try Rosetta Stone for football. Learn the lingo and key phrases to keep you conversational.
Flip right double X, 36 counter naked waggle at 7 X quarter, heads up for a 358 cannon check on 1.
In just a few hours, you'll be speaking fluent football, enough to hold your own during the big game.
Hey, your cousin Elliot's here. Hi, dudes.
You ready for some football, cuz?
Affirmative. I'm anxious to see how Carroll will adjust the D after a Legion of Boom lights out weak side blitz forces Brady to step into the pocket to hit Gronkowski on the flat on single coverage to move the chains, putting Sherman downfield defending a fly pattern on 3rd and short while LeGarrette grinds it out north and south to put 6 on the board.
Wow. You want a beer, Elliot?
Ick, I don't. But if you served up a crisp, cold pressed apple cider with a cinnamon stick, I wouldn't say no.
Prepare for the big game. Rosetta Stone for football. Order today.
The KQ Morning Show.
Tom Bernard here. Thanks for listening to our KQ Morning Show podcast, brought to you exclusively by my guys at Walzer Automotive Group. Walzer is proud to be the Twin Cities' one low-price dealer group. That means upfront, no-haggle pricing on every single new and used vehicle they sell, with 24 dealerships over 2 states and a love-it-or-leave-it return policy you can buy with confidence. I encourage you to experience the Walzer way to buy your next vehicle. See Walzer.com for details. Thanks for listening, and enjoy our show.